Miura 5 under pressure, leadership change at Roscosmos, Starbase update, big plans at the Cape with Blue Origin and SpaceX, Blue Origin lays people off, good news for the Lunar Space Station gateway module, launches of the week. I'm Christophe Paget from All About Space, and this is your Space Update. 3 weeks ago, I brought to you the good news from PLD Space. They had completed their design and manufacture of their upper stage tank. The specimen has since been transported to their test site in Teruel in Spain and successfully passed the structural cryogenic pressure tests of its tank, a series of extremely harsh conditions to safely reach orbit. These tests is paving the way for PLD Space to complete their system and integration activities next. So I look forward to more news from them. The Russian President Vladimir Putin has dismissed Yuri Borisov after 2.5 years in charge of the nation's space agency Roscosmos. He was replaced by Dmitry Bakhanov, who most recently served as Russia's deputy transport minister and led the Gonets satellite communication system for 8 years. Many media outlets are speculating about the reasons for this dismissal. The fact is simply that since Putin was in power, all heads of Roscosmos have lasted less than 3 or 4 years, with the exception of Anatoly Perminov, who held this position for 7 years. So Boris is no different, and we will see how long Bakhanov will last. At Starbase, the booster number 15 was rolled out to the launch site with all its 33 Raptor engines installed and was subsequently installed on the Tower number 2 launch mount. This booster is expected to be used together with Starship number 34 for SpaceX 8th flight tests. The booster has then undergone static fire, a vital test in preparation for such flight tests. It then had enough and was removed from the mount and traveled back to the production site. Starship number 34 has then left for the Massey site and subsequently carried out a long-duration static fire of its 6 Raptor engines. In Florida now, SpaceX has applied for a permit to build what is called a gigabay, a single building 7 times larger than the current megabay is at Starbase. SpaceX is clearly planning to assemble many Starship rockets at Cape Canaveral. We could also see SpaceX starting the assembly of its square launch mount for its Pad 39A, the same type of mount as Tower number 2 at Starbase. Continuing with Cape Canaveral, Blue Origin is continuing its massive expansion with plans for an entire city for the construction of its New Glenn rocket and the Blue Moon lander and many more. They do not advertise much, but they are steadily growing there. I do not want to bore you with this, so I will not go into any more details. The NASA Artemis project is set to bring astronauts to the moon. The first parts NASA will bring to space is the Habitation and Logistic Outpost Module, or HALO for short, the centerpiece of the Lunar Gateway space station, which will permanently orbit around the moon to support moon landing missions, as well as provide space to live, work, and conduct scientific research. And this module is expected to be launched in 2027 by a Falcon Heavy rocket from Florida. It is built by a European company, Thales Alenia Space, located in Turin, in Italy. This week, the company has completed a series of rigorous environmental stress tests with the test rig right below it. The HALO module is now moved to the clean room at Thales Alenia for final installations. According to NASA, this phase includes installing and testing valves and hatches, performing leak checks, and integrating external secondary structures. This is the last step until the module is transported to Northrop Grumman in Arizona to complete the outfitting. Blue Origin is laying off 10% of its workforce, CEO Dave Limp tells employees in an email received by The Verge that fast growth led to more bureaucracy and less focus than we needed. As a result, Limp said the company is thinning out our layers of management and cutting employees across engineering, project management, as well as research and development. The makeup of our organization must change to ensure our roles are best aligned with executing these priorities, Lim wrote. The 10% workforce corresponds to around 1,000 people, according to Bloomberg. February 8th, SpaceX launched a Falcon 9 from Florida for its Starlink mission Group 12-9. The first stage flew for its 17th time and landed on a drone ship. On the same day, Rocket Lab launched an Electron from New Zealand for its mission IoT for You and Me, another batch of satellites from the Toulouse company Kineis, and February 11th, SpaceX launched a Falcon 9 from California for its Starlink mission Group 1110. The first stage flew for its 23rd time and landed on a drone ship. On the same day, CASC launched the Long March 8A from China's commercial launch site for its maiden flight. Now, this is essentially a Long March 8 with a larger, more capable second stage and fairing. The flight seems to have been successful, according to the few information received. Later on that day, SpaceX launched a Falcon 9 from Florida for its Starlink mission Group 12-18. The first stage flew for its 18th time and landed on a drone ship. In summary, from January 1st until February 13th, 2025, 31 rockets were launched successfully. Out of that, 21 were from an American company or institution and one from China. I leave you this week with a picture from the James Webb Space Telescope of the gravitational lensing of the quasar known as RxJ 1131-1231, located roughly 6 billion light-years from Earth in the constellation Crater. I never really talk about quasars. What is a quasar? It's a rare and extremely luminous object in the center of a galaxy that is powered by a supermassive black hole. The picture does not really show much, but such a luminous object allows to not only be detected because it's, after all, 6 billion light years away, and should usually be too faint to be picked up, but also shines its light to neighboring galaxies, a sort of space lighthouse, if you like, also allowing our telescopes to see them. In fact, you are looking at a galaxy in the foreground that is this small blue dot you see in the center, with the quasar in the background. Now, don't be fooled by what you see. Due to the huge quasar light intensity, the galaxy is smearing the single quasar into 4 bright dots. Additionally, such a lighthouse is allowing researchers to pick up the black hole behind it and study its evolution over time using the telescope X-ray sensors. Thank you for watching your channel all about space. See you at the next episode of Space News.